This country seems to encompass all the beauty of our planet. Its beautiful valleys, waterfalls that seem to fall from the sky, and rocky mountains that seem to support the sky are also a testament to its beauty. This country is livable and has 5.6 million citizens, a rich and happy people. It offers a high quality of life to its citizens, has a low crime rate, distributes its national wealth fairly to its citizens, has a low unemployment rate, and is one of the countries on our planet that is considered to be a comfortable place to live for elderly women and children. Norway is located in northern Europe, on the western portion of the Scandinavian peninsula. It is bordered by Sweden to the east, Finland, and Russia to the northeast, and has an extensive coastline along the North Atlantic Ocean to the west. This country is so confident in its peaceful nature that it shares the world's most relaxed border with Sweden. There are no guards, no fences, just a simple line marked by stones and small signs. You can literally step from one country to another while hiking, and sometimes the only way you know you've crossed is when your phone switches to a different network. Norwegians, known for their love of coffee, are among the happiest people on earth. A Norwegian drinks an average of 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day. Norway is a country that is loved for everything except the cold. But they consider the cold to be medicine. You might see babies placed outside in the cold, even just weeks after birth, as Norwegians believe it helps them sleep longer. They have done something no other oil country has ever attempted. They have made it illegal for their own oil companies to advertise fossil fuels to their citizens. Yes, you heard that right. The country that makes billions from oil has banned oil companies from promoting their products domestically. Instead, they use their oil profits to become the world's largest investor in renewable energy abroad. In Norway, hints of oil under the sea were discovered in 1959, and the country began producing oil in 1971. In 1990, the country began to receive significant income from oil money. That year, a law was passed requiring that the majority of oil revenues be set aside for future generations. Since then, Norway has accumulated over $1.9 trillion in savings from its oil revenues. The Norwegian government is reluctant to spend more than 3% of its savings. The remaining 97% is deposited in a fund. Of the over $1.9 trillion accumulated to date, 70% is invested in the world's most prominent technology companies. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Tesla are the most prominent. Every single Norwegian citizen is technically worth about $340,000 on paper. When you divide their over $1.9 trillion fund by their 5.6 million citizens, each person's share is worth about $340,000. The government publishes an annual letter to every citizen showing exactly how much money belongs to them in the fund and how it performed that year. Receiving a letter from your government that says, "Dear citizen, your share of the national wealth grew by $15,000 this year," is a reality in Norway. Norway has mastered the art of being expensively perfect. Walking into a McDonald's and paying around $10 to $12 for a Big Mac meal may seem expensive. Yes, you heard that right, over $10 for fast food. But here's the twist that will blow your mind. While that Big Mac costs over $10, the teenager serving it to you is earning $25 per hour, which means they can afford that meal with just around 45 minutes of work, while an American teenager working minimum wage would need to work 3 hours for the same meal. A simple cup of coffee that costs $2 in most countries will set you back around $4.85 in Norway. A bottle of water costs around $4. A pizza delivery can cost around $30 to $40. And don't even think about buying alcohol. A single beer in a restaurant costs $9 to $13, and a bottle of wine can easily reach $40 to $80. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-bending. Despite these prices that would make most people faint, Norwegians have one of the world's highest purchasing powers. A software engineer in Norway earning around $60,000 to $70,000 can afford a better lifestyle than someone earning $150,000 in New York because their health care is almost entirely free. With minimal co-payments capped yearly, their education is free for Norwegian and EU, EEA citizens. Their children get money from the government just for existing, and they get 5 weeks of paid vacation that they actually use. Norway also manages to use its savings wisely. The government uses the money it collects from oil and taxes fairly, so social services are free throughout the country. Health services for children under 16 and pregnant women are completely free. Most schools in Norway are state-run and free. The government pays the salaries of unemployed citizens until they find work. In Norway, all government salaries are public information. You can literally go online and search exactly how much the Prime Minister, your local mayor, or any government employee earns. But it gets even more incredible. They also publish everyone's tax returns online. Yes, you can look up any Norwegian citizen's income and taxes paid. They call it tax transparency, and rather than creating chaos, it has actually reduced tax evasion to almost zero. Norway is also unique in its treatment of its peaceful citizens and prisoners. The country's prison system is built not on punishment, but on the principle of educating and training peaceful citizens. Indeed, their prison life is the kind of life that most citizens of the world would like to have. In prison, each prisoner is given a house which has its own living room, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, laundry, television, and refrigerator. Each prisoner can cook and eat whatever food he wants. While prisoners have the freedom to choose and learn any profession they want during their time in prison, the government facilitates everything. Here, the guards do not carry weapons. Norwegian prisons have a waiting list. Yes, you heard correctly. People have to wait in line to go to prison. Due to the limited capacity of humane, rehabilitation-focused prisons, there can be waiting periods before a sentence is served. So criminals are put on a waiting list and get to stay free until their prison spot opens up. Only in Norway would going to prison require a reservation. Despite having so little farmland, Norway has achieved something that sounds impossible. They have become the world's largest producer of a very unexpected export: salmon. This country produces more farmed salmon than any other nation on Earth, shipping their fish to over 100 countries. They've essentially turned the cold waters that once limited them into floating fish factories. If you find a job in Norway, the normal working day is Monday to Sunday, with a 37.5-hour week, or 7.5 hours per day. If you work more than 7.5 hours per day, you will receive 50% of the normal salary and 100% more on holidays and weekends. Working in Norway is not that stressful. There is no national minimum wage in Norway. However, construction, medical, IT, and engineering workers can expect to be paid an average of $20 to $30 per hour. One thing you can be sure of in Norway is that if you find a job, you will have 5 weeks of vacation per year. Every Norwegian has the legal right to walk, camp, or pick berries on any land in the country, even private property, as long as they don't damage anything. This means your boss cannot legally stop you from hiking across his private estate during your lunch break. In contrast to many other countries, in Norway, you can legally camp in anyone's backyard as long as you're respectful and don't get too close to their house. Norway has 83,000 kilometers of coastline, the longest in Europe and the second longest in the world after Canada. It began to trade with European countries using its seas and rivers as early as the 18th century. It built a strong economy by supplying its timber and timber products to all European countries. Countries like Norway, which are closer to the northern hemisphere, have a period of darkness that lasts from 3 to 6 months. In most parts of Norway, the sun does not set for at least 2 months from May to August. Since September, as the Earth approaches the sun, these areas are in the opposite direction and they are immersed in darkness. During these months of eternal darkness, Norwegians have developed the most beautiful response to depression that the world has ever seen. They created something called Koselig, a concept so uniquely Norwegian that no other language has a word for it. It means creating the perfect cozy atmosphere with candles, warm blankets, good food, and close friends to combat the darkness. Norway consumes more candles per person than any other country in the world. They've essentially turned seasonal depression into an art form of hygge and coziness that the rest of the world is desperately trying to copy. Although Norway's geographical location makes it difficult to build infrastructure, the country is connected by road, rail, air, and sea transport. Known for its high-quality roads, Norway is also well connected by land transport. The country is also known as the world's center of electric cars. They have built the world's longest road tunnel, stretching 24.5 kilometers through solid rock. But what makes it truly incredible is that halfway through this tunnel, they built underground caverns with colored lights and rest areas because they realized that driving through a dark tunnel for 20 minutes might make people claustrophobic or fall asleep. Only Norwegians would think that a tunnel needs interior design and mood lighting to keep drivers happy. If this glimpse into Norway's quiet brilliance made you smile, learn, or dream, do your part to share the wonder. Like, share, and subscribe. And join us for more untold stories from around the world.